wedstryd. En is hy heel agter Louis wat kyk of hy 2 punte kan byvoeg op die telbord. Hy kom vorentoe, tref hom goed. En die vlaas omhoog. Paul Roos 7, Nelspruit 0, 2 minute 50 sekondes verstreke in die eerste helfte. En wat 'n begin vir Paul Roos. Stefan van der Bank met die afskop vir Nelspruit. Bal wat hoog hang, goed bemeester word in die lug deur Paul Roos. En bal word grond toe gebring. So op die 10 meter stippellyn van Paul Roos is dit Jaars wat die bal uitkry. En dan word hy met 'n teenaanval begin deur Paul Roos. Skitterend uit die lug uitgevat deur nommer 14 Tian Kutse vir Nelspruit. En dan is dit 'n strafskop aan die Nelspruit Rhinos. So 3 meter voor die 10 tree stippellyn, 15 meter van die diskant van die veld. En ons gaan kyk wat gaan die opsie wees vir die kaptein, die hakker Willem van die hakker SP Miller, wat daar vir die skeieregter beduie dat ons sal paal toe gaan. En dit lyk soos die losskakel Stefan van der Bank wat gaan aanlê paal toe. Van der Bank wat aanlê paal toe. Groot seën hierdie losskakel van Nelspruit. Soos gesê in 2014 vir die eerste keer in die skoolgeskiedenis die beeldtrofee gewen. En weer eens 'n baie goeie span hierdie jaar. Van der Bank kom vorentoe en hy tref hom goed. Hy lyk goed. En hy's tussen die paal deur skitterende skop Stefan van der Bank. Paul Roos 7, Nelspruit 3. Ongeveer 5 minute verstreke in die eerste helfte. En Nelspruit wat stadig maar seker hulle voete vind in hierdie wedstryd. They got taken in on the 22 by Nelspruit and running in a great attacking line and getting over the advantage. Unfortunately, losing the ball. Paul Roos with a turnover and in the midfield setting it up great. Now we've got Jaws. Jaws waiting for it and he's looking at his options and he plays to, unfortunately, the Nelspruit Rhinos bordering on the offside line and actually being offside. So it's a penalty to Paul Roos in a very kickable position. Game full of action, 6 minutes into the first half.
Johan, we've seen in a space of 2 minutes there, good decision making by both sides there. Penalty going both ways in kickable positions. Both teams are opting to go for posts. Are they going the safety route and making sure that they solidify the points? Because it looks like we're up for quite an encounter this evening.
I think the conditions obviously also playing a part in this, and the guys just wanting to settle down, and early points on the board in these conditions are vital. And as we see Kola Louis and adding another 3 for Paul Roos, and Paul Roos 10, Nelspruit 3 after nearly 7 minutes in the match. And yeah, I think definitely the conditions playing a role. I think you'll see that a lot of the kickable penalties will be going for post. Affies in the game prior to this against Hilton wanted to run everything and nearly came unstuck against Hilton College. So I think safety first approach will be seen in this game.
Fair enough, as you see a deep restart there by the Nelspruit boys, well gathered by Paul Roos. They'll look to solidify now and clear their lines by the fly half.
Groot skop en ingewag op die hulle 18de stadium deur Nelspruit. Skitterende aangee, maar dan gaan die bal verlore. En dit is 'n bietjie gewaagd om met sulke aangee in hierdie kondisies te speel. En dit lyk of Nelspruit nou probeer om die Paul Roos manne in die lug te hou. Paul Roos egter voordeel gehad en baie gewaagde spel hier deel Nelspruit en dit kan 'n ou dier te staan kom in hierdie kondisies. So ek dink Beide spanne sal moet seker maak vir al die agterlyne 'n bietjie nader aan mekaar en seker maak van hulle aangee in hierdie kondisies.
We see now where one of the Paul Roos boys making his way off the field. I'm not too certain if he's injured. It looks like a fullback from Paul Roos. He's made his way off the field. A fullback or a, no, my mistake. It's a fly-half who's made his way off. Looks like he's got a bit of a tingle in his leg as we see the replacement fly-half coming on. Will this have an impact on the game, Johan? Very early on, 8 minutes into the game, you got your fly-half who looked like a good pivot for the team coming off the field.
Yeah, it'll definitely have an impact on the sides as I see Maree Kluter taking the field now. But it's also early enough in the game that he should have time to sort of get his act together and get into the flow of things. And usually with schools like Paul Roos, they've got so much depth as Kluter takes the ball on the advantage line. Flat ball. Beautiful running by the Paul Roos back line as we see them making contact on the 10-meter line of Nelspruit. Nelspruit looking to hold them up. The number 12 from Nelspruit working incredibly hard.
Eighth man clears the line now, makes it way through the forwards. Forwards now getting involved. They'll look for a leg drive. They'll look for quick ball here. Now, Paul Roos look very, very set
to
take the ball.
And Nelspruit nearly came through there with Jaws standing with his hand on the ball. Paul Roos making great ground up the gut of the field as we see Maree. Great angle run by number 23 who is Regan van der Westhuizen. Beautiful angle running and a great try by Paul Roos in the right-hand corner. What a start to this match by the men from Stellenbosch.
Fantastic ball there. Like we've said, Johanna, they set up the base just outside the 10-meter line. The advantage there was a quick ball. Quick ball by the scrum half. Lets it out to the right-hand side. Backline did the rest. So fantastic hands. Good straight running. Try time, Paul Roos.
Try scored there by the right winger, Via Smith for Paul Roos. And we see the fullback, Kolia Louis. Interesting name here of the fullback for Paul Roos, Kolia Louis, looking to add the 2 points. He's already kicked 2 penalties as well, and he's already kicked 1 penalty, I beg your pardon, and a conversion, and looking to add the extra 2. And Nelspruit to me at this stage look stunned.
As we see Kolia Louis wanting to add the extra 2 points, Johan, what would your message be as captain now to the Nelspruit side? We've had 5 minutes of back-to-back rugby, impact rugby, and seeing Paul Roos come over the advantage line. What's your message at the moment to your men?
As we look at the conversion, good strike by Louis. Beautiful kick by Louis, right from the right-hand touchline. He adds 2 points. I think the message as captain of Nelspruit, or from the captain of Nelspruit, should be quite clear at this stage. I think the guys are just a little bit over-eager and rushing into things and even rushing the defense line just a little bit. And I think they must just relax and make their one-off tackles at this stage. As we see a great carry by Paul Roos into contact. Jaws out to Maree. Maree actually a second receiver there and kicks a long kick, and I think there's your answer when you asked whether this will have a big impact on the game with the reserve fly-off coming on to the field. I guess not.
Fantastic display thus far. Very early in the game, Johan, 10 minutes in or so about, we're seeing from this Paul Roos side. Do you think the momentum is coming through from Paul Roos? I know they had a very successful Australasia tour. And are we catching glimpses of perhaps what happened in Australasia?
Paul Roos looks like a side that have already played a few games together as they're right back onto the attack. Jaws and carrying it into contact is Paul Roos, about 5 yards from the try line. And big forwards rumbling it up. It's looking very, very ominous here for Nelspruit. Jaws with a quick ball. And Paul Roos in right next to the upright. And Paul Roos is running Nelspruit off their feet at this stage. Wonderful, wonderful attacking rugby by the men from Stellenbosch.
Fantastic team try there by Paul Roos, coming from the line out there. Quick phase ball into the mids. Mids carrying the ball up nice and strong. Good legs, good leg drive. Over she goes again. 5 points, Paul Roos. Are we seeing a one-sided affair here, Johan?
Ja, op hierdie stadium lyk dit nie of Nelspruit enige antwoorde het nie, maar Paul Roos wat ook skitterend doen in hierdie weersomstandighede op die stadion. En 'n merkbare verskil van Paul Roos en Affies wat net voorlig gespeel het, is hoe Paul Roos se spelers effens nader aan mekaar speel, baie meer van die losvoorspelers op die aanval gebruik en as 'n ware eers die opposisie se verdediging sag maak voordat die bal deur die hande gaan. En daardie 3 was gedruk deur nommer 18 van Paul Roos, Tristan Leach. Diep afgeskop deur Nelspruit. Ingewag deur die Haars en dit lyk of hy gaan skopie uit sy 22 uit. Skitterend teruggeval en binne spel gehou deur Nelspruit se nommer 9. Nelspruit wat lyk of hulle met 'n teenaanval wil begin.
Nelspruit here will look to set up the phases. They've got an opportunity on the ball. Penalty call by the referee there. Hands in the ruck. Good relief there for Nelspruit as they've been under the battering ham for the last couple of minutes there, Johan.
Dis nou juist hier waar Nelspruit moet rustig raak. Van der Bank het 'n baie groot voet. Hy moet seker maak dat hy die bal uitskop. En 'n skitterende skop daardeur Van der Bank. En hy lyk na baie goed afgeronde losskakel hierdie speler van Nelspruit. En as jy is hier waar Nelspruit nou net geduld in die dag moet lê, die bal deur 'n paar fases vat en miskien 'n blaadjie uit die Paul Rooser se boek vat, neem en die groot voorspelers gebruik om die verdedigingslyne sag te maak voordat hulle ongeduldig is en die bal te vinnig deur die hande wil laat gaan.
First real opportunity we've seen Nelspruit in the 22. Oh dear, knock on.
En dit was so 'n goeie lynstand, so 'n goeie bal gevat daar deur Pieter Taljaard. SP Miller wat die ingooi werk gedoen het en ongelukkig is dit Nelspruit wat die bal vorentoe verloor daar in die losgemaal en dit is Paul Roos wat die skram kan voer ongeveer 5 meter van die oorkant se kantlyn op die 22 van Paul Roos en Nelspruit sal baie vinnig moet terugslaan hier. Paul Roos 24, Nelspruit 3.
Looking at the setup here, Johan, defensive scrum just inside the 22 for Paul Roos. Are they looking to run it? Are they looking to exit the lines?
And I believe Marie Kluter, the replacement fly half, should be looking for touch here. But the scrum of Jaws might be going for the box kick as well. Great scrum. And the ball came out very scrappy there, and it was almost Paul Roos that had to run with it because there was no time to clear to the fly half. And as we've got another line out, it looks like Paul Roos can feed again. So Paul Roos slowly but surely getting out of the 22 there, and Nelspruit would like to keep this pressure on them. They would. Nelspruit completely has to be the next side to score points. Otherwise, we might be in for a very one-sided game. The box kick by Jaws, well positioned, makes contact very close to the touchline. Can they keep it in, Nelspruit? They can, and they receive the penalty. That was good play by Reinhard Roos, the left wing from Nelspruit. Carried it into contact very strongly, kept it in play, and Nelspruit receives the penalty, and it is that man, Van der Bank, looking to create a line out for Nelspruit.
Another opportunity here given by Nelspruit to get into a good attacking position. We saw them in the 22, not for very long until they knocked the ball on from that set phase. Hopefully now they'll be able to conjure up something, Johan.
Yeah, the biggest thing is they need to keep the ball as they go to the middle of the line-out. Great line-out win as Van der Bank carries the ball strongly. Inside run by the flanker. Renier Trotsky, very strong carry by Renier Trotsky. As we've got a chip needlessly kicking away possession, but I think Yao Christopher knew that there was advantage coming there, and as we see Van der Bank mentioning again that he's going to kick to post. Quite an interesting decision. He scores at 24-3 to Paul Roos, and quite an interesting decision by the captain. Even his flyer, Van der Bank, looked surprised there when he got the call. It looked like he thought he was going to go to the corner.
Is it one of those situations, Johan, as we see Van der Bank lining up what should be a stock standard 3 points for his team? Is it one of those situations where we've got time, let's get the secure points, and then we'll look for tries later?
It is, and it's probably a bit of a catch-22. You know, these conditions, although Paul Roos have been handling it brilliantly and by a long shot the best that we've seen so far today, These conditions aren't very conducive to point scoring. So, yeah, maybe they just want to chip away at this. And oh, he's such a pure striker of the ball, is Van der Bonk. That was never going anywhere but straight over the sticks. And we've got Paul Roos leading by 24 points to 6 after 17 and a half minutes of the first half. And this, the penultimate game of the first day of the St. John's Easter Festival.
Sustained pressure there by Nelspruit, walking away with 3 points. I'm sure they would have liked more, but as we see a nice deep restart again. Van der Bonk, the man on the ball again, will look to exit. Fantastic kick there as it just comes over halfway.
Ja, Van der Bonk die het 'n verskriklike goeie voet op hom en hy verplaas spel tot ongeveer die middellyn met baie gemak. En dit is Paul Roos is hakker Willem van die Heever wat hier in die lyn staan kan ingooi. 5 tree binne die helfte van Nelspruit. En goed gekompeteer, maar ongelukkig vorentoe verloor deur Nelspruit. Op die grond se bal gewen. Nou sit Jaars na Maret Kloete. Maret Kloete die versprei baie goed en 'n skitterende verdediging in die middelveld waar Rufus Derksen hard grond toe gebring word. En dan sit Jaars wat 'n vinnige bal na die linkerkant uitspeel. Skitterende loopie deur Bruiten Marits. Marits die kyk of hy val van die grond of na sy nommer 7 flank Philip van Dijk. Van Dijk die gaan vorentoe en hy is oor die 22. Nou is dit Jaars wat die bal uitkry. En na sy nommer 18. Skitterend weer oor die voordeellyn.
Quick ball now is the order of the day for Paul Roos as they look to spread it down the right-hand side. Everybody getting involved there. Big hit again, centre field, but Paul Roos managed to hang on to the ball. Scrum off there, in control of the ball. Advantage seems to be being blown by the referee.
Nou is dit weer Van Dijk met 'n sterk loopie. Ongelukkig verloor hy hom vorentoe. Tot en met daardie aanslaan, skitterende kontinuïteit deur die Paul Roos span. Fase na fase afgedwing. Skitterende loopie gewees deur die nommer 5 slot Bruiten Marits. En die flank Philip van Dijk die is ook op sy stukke. As we see Paul Roos now, what are they going to do? They're going to take the 3 points. This is a big surprise. They're leading by 18 points at this stage. And big surprise to see the fullback Kolia Louis from Paul Roos looking to extend the lead. And this 3 points should be pretty easy. And he strikes it, and it's over. Paul Roos leading Nelspruit by 27 points to 6. We've had 20 minutes of the first half here. It looks like for the meanwhile the rain has abated, and lovely conditions here under the floodlights. But the field is still very wet underfoot and very slippery. As we've got Van der Bonk with a kickoff, and it's taken in on the 22. Great darting run there by the Paul Roos side. Also a brilliant clean out as Yards gets the ball out. Paul Roos looks to run it out of there on 22. And it's Kolia Louis. Great offload there, and that's by Louis just as he was about to tackle. And Paul Roos into the Nelspruit half once again. Now they look to spread the ball, and it's Paul Roos making the contact, just looking to set up another phase and sort of settle things down as Jaws looks to have knocked the ball on. Now it's turnover of possession to Nelspruit. It's a little dink over the top. Oh, and soccer skill trying to be shown by Jaws, and he nearly puts his side under immense pressure. But now it's into the hands of the Paul Roos players again, and they kick through into the half of Nelspruit. Fallen back. Great work by the 8th man. And a beautiful carry up by Nelspruit. Nelspruit looking to secure some possession, as it's carried by the number 7, Renier Trotsky. Great carry again by Trotsky. This guy looks to be a handful for Paul Roos. Beautiful little dink by Van der Bonk. Is it going to go out? Covered by the number 11, Remy Engelbrecht for Paul Roos. And he kicks, and it was touched, so everybody is on side. Beautiful work by Van der Bonk.
Good hands now needed by Nelspruit. They've got numbers to the left. Quick ball is now the order of the day as they look in the center field there, just outside the 22.
And looks to be a little knock on there on the ground. But Manny, I am more than impressed in a losing cause so far by Stefan van der Bonk. the number 10 for Nelspruit.
Certainly has been one player that's put his hand up for this Nelspruit side. It does seem to be a losing cause at the moment, but he certainly has not given up hope there. He's run the ball very, very nicely. He's kicked very nicely. Handling has been very nice. Hopefully the guys around him can respond the same way he has, Johan.
Verseker Van der Bank die speel baie goeie rugby op hierdie stadium en hy lyk na 'n verskriklike afgeronde speler wat ek probeer nou hierso sien. Van der Bank staan in sy sokkies ook 88 kg en 'n man kan dit duidelik sien. 'n Groot seun, sterk op die aanval, glad nie bang om te verdedig nie en Stefan van der Bank die lyk na 'n groot speler vir die toekoms in die wêreld van die Pumas.
Scrum time now for Paul Roos as the scrum half looks to put the ball in Gerardo. He'll want to clear his lines. He's got options both left and right. At the base of the scrum it is now. Hands go through for Paul Roos. They're going to run it deep inside there. Little box kick ahead of his team. Big runners there. Nelspruit under immediate pressure. Their fullback seems to have done well.
Oh, Paul Rieder. Oh, no. Oh, that was very, very bad. And it almost sort of looked as if the number 6 from Paul Roos, Michael Koning, did not know what to do after he lifted up the fullback Rieder from Nelspruit, and he just left him mid-air, and unfortunately I think this is not going to end well. Yeah, yellow card to the... Well, let's just make sure if it was number 6 from Paul Roos. If we can see a replay, he lifts up the player and then mid-air realizes that he has him in the air and does not know what to do, and unfortunately just drops him straight onto his head as we see Paul Roos receive a yellow card, and we just want to make sure about the number. I think it was number 6, Michael Koning, and unfortunately Paul Roos will be, here we see on the replay, Rieder going down and then standing up again. He gets lifted with his head down, and then, yeah, it was Koning, and then unfortunately just lets him go. And you can see immediately, I think he sort of had a brain freeze with a player there in mid-air.
He did have a brain freeze, didn't know what to do. Unfortunately, not giving the referee any choice but to give him a yellow card. Obviously, safety first in the game of rugby. Having said that, big shout out to all the first aiders and medical staff here in attendance at this rugby festival. These are guys that go unnoticed very, very often, but obviously in situations like that, they're first on call to tend to situations.
Baie waar, skitterende werk hier die mediese personeel, bitter vinnig by om haar situasie te ontlont ook, en het lyk of Rieder gaan herstel. Skitterend gedoen deur Nelspruit daar aan die lyn staan deur die nommer 5 slot Marius Slabber. Dan is dit uit, en ongelukkig is dit Van der Bank wat sy oë van daardie bal afhaal, en soveel ander kere vandag is dit daardie typiese, soos die Engelsman sê, commentators curse. Just a couple of minutes ago we were praising Van der Bank, and then unfortunately just taking his eyes off the ball there, and but Nelspruit slowly but surely, Manny, looking to regain. It reminds me a lot of the previous game where Hilton took about 10-15 minutes to just slowly but surely get into the game, and as they got into it, they played a much better brand of rugby. Unfortunately, in this situation, Paul Roos has already scored 27 points to the 6 of Nelspruit.
A tough comeback indeed it'll be for Nelspruit. Hopefully for Van der Bank, he lets that mistake go. He picks his head up and he's ready to go again there. As we see Paul Roos, as we've seen before, they're not scared to run it from that short-hand side on the far right of us, Johan.
Yeah, Paul Roos definitely at this stage looks like the backline is favouring that right-hand side, Manny, and as so happens so often, in backlines, some of the backlines favour going left and some favour going right. Depends on whether you're right-handed, left-handed, and which feet you step off better. But it certainly looks like teams watching Paul Roos will find that they are favouring that right-hand side.
Having said that, Johan, it is quite interesting to see that they've yet to use the open side in those situations to run the ball.
Yeah, they do go down the short side very often, and remember at this festival, a lot of the top side in South Africa also watching very keenly, and knowing that they still have to play each other after the festival. So it'll be interesting to see what the other sides make of the brand of rugby that Paul Roos is currently playing.
Big carry into the centre now by the Paul Roos lock. The scrum half will look to get rid of the ball there as they see a ball go over the top. Out on the full, unfortunately, looks like.
That's actually, to be frank, a terrible kick. There was great possession for Paul Roos, and they just handed it straight back to Nelspruit. And unfortunately, yeah, that was a bad mistake by Paul Roos. They're sort of camping in the last 5 minutes in their own territory, Paul Roos, and looking to run it out here. Nelspruit will be counting on Paul Roos making another couple of mistakes and hopefully scoring and turning it at 27-13. Maybe Nelspruit will be turning with their tails in the air.
It's no secret that Nelspruit have been gifted opportunities by Paul Roos in the last 5 minutes, but they've got to capitalize, Johan. As we see now, another mistake from Nelspruit. Good opportunity for them to go on the attack, unfortunately losing that ball.
As we see Jaws back to Marek Kluter. That ball came out of the 22, so they can't kick directly out into touch. And that was lost backwards by Nelspruit. Oh, and then a comedy of errors between and Reardon knocking the ball on, unfortunately. A comedy of errors there by Nelspruit. And that is something they can ill afford trailing at this stage at 27 points to 6 with just a couple of minutes going to go to half time. And if Paul Roos scores now just before half time, I'm afraid that it might be a bridge too far for this Nelspruit Rhino side.
Momentum shift immediately. Nelspruit were on the front foot in close to the 22 of Paul Roos, but immediately now one mistake and look where they are. They find themselves just outside their 22 with Paul Roos scrum, centre field, options to attack both sides. Danger time here for Nelspruit.
Dis Gerardo Jaars wat nou die bal kan insit in die vaste skram vir Paul Roos. Die nommer 9 wat tot dusver redelik beïndruk het in hierdie wedstryd en dit is 'n skram byna aan die middel van die veld. So skitterende aanvalsgeleenthede hier vir Paul Roos. As ons sien Paul Roos natuurlik net 7 in die skram het op die stadion met Koning en 'n vaskop gehak deur Nelspruit. Nelspruit wat die druk verlig en 'n lang skop en dit is Paul Roos heel agter Colin Louis wat moet terugval. Skitterend bemeester deur Louis en hy word vasgetrek 5 tree van sy eie 10 tree stippellyn af. Met Jaars wat nou omkom aan die blinde kant. En hier's baie spasie vir die 11, maar skitterend verdedig deur Nelspruit. Het lyk soos Andy Fourie wat skitterend verdedig het hierso van Nelspruit. Maar as Paul Roos nog steeds die bal dra, na kom hulle weer maklik oor die voordeellyn. Daai bal was nie vorentoe nie. Oh, die skeieregter sê was wel vorentoe. Vir my gelyk of hy dalk van die voete af kon kom daar. Maar dan is dit halftyd hierso. Paul Roos wel verdiend voor 27 punte teenoor 6 aan die voorlaaste wedstryd van die eerste dag by St. John's.
When you're hot, is this hot? You're big, this big. You're fresh, this fresh. And you're dark, this dark. When you're quiet, is this quiet? You're deep, this deep. And you're busy, this busy. When you live in a place of possibility, when you're driving Africa's growth, you never stop moving forward. Standard Bank, moving forward.
Time's running out, coach. What are we going to do?
Okay, boys, listen, bring that mobile truck and take it behind the post. There. Now start drilling. Drill.
People with a taste for life.
We need to double our stock order.
Increasing payment limits now.
When you need the bank everywhere you are. Standard Bank, moving forward.
saying market agents, you do not drop the ball. And also market agents go for the posts, not for the grubbers. Ons stuntscrims voor loscrims by RSA. RSA doen raakvat, nie hoogvat nie. As long as you stay close to RSA, they'll never drop the ball, and winning is a guarantee. RSA market agents stun so well because they sell so well.
Half-time here at the St. John's Easter Festival, the penultimate game of the first day, and what a first day we've had at the Standard Bank St. John's Easter Festival. Paul Roos from Stellenbosch playing Nelspruit, and Paul Roos with a comfortable lead at half-time, 27 points to 6. And Manny Paul Roos played some exceptional footy in that first half.
Certainly did. Obviously, like you've said, good momentum coming into this festival. They were in Australasia, like we've mentioned a little bit earlier, and good to see that momentum coming through for them. For Nelspruit, massive job for them to do. What would have been the halftime team talk from the Nelspruit management staff, John?
Well, Manny, in the middle part of the second half, you saw a bit of a resurgence. You saw Stefan van der Bank taking control and sort of kicking in behind Paul Roos, which in these conditions I think is the right tactic, and I think it's more of the same in that middle part. Paul Roos started like a house on fire, of course, and I think Nelspruit was just a little bit awestruck there, but van der Bank gets the second half on the go. And we see a big carry coming in there and a great tackle by Renewed Trotsky. I've been very impressed by the number 7 of Nelspruit as well. As we see Louis, the fullback from Paul Roos, bursting through the first line of defence, getting the offload away as well. And Paul Roos starting the second half much like they did the first, on the front foot as Jaws gets it out. And they carry it up straight up the gut of the field.
There's that man again, Tristan Leach. He really has been good in carrying up that ball. Has he been from the man from Paul Roos, Tristan? As they look now, getting closer to the 10-meter line again, Tristan. Good offload there.
And Brayton Maritz, the number 5 lock. It's his third carry of the match already. And Paul Roos, that's a beautiful tackle there.
Textbook.
As we see Murray Klute slipping over there. He's not a held, so he can still get back to his feet and carry on. Jaws waiting for it. Paul Roos getting great ball. And Brayton Maritz with another carry. Unfortunately, the ball was lost backwards, but now it's been knocked forward by Paul Roos, an advantage to Nelspruit. And Nelspruit, Christopher gets it out to Van der Bank. Van der Bank with another huge boot downfield. And it's right up to the 22 of with Murray Klute fielding the ball, and he's got plenty of time to make his clearance. It's not going to be out. And great positioning once again by Van der Bank. And there's a hand there, so everybody can play. Oh, with big shoulder there by Van der Bank. As Jaws looking with a box kick.
Oh dear, what is that?
He sort of fluffs that one with Christopher falling back for Nelspruit. And starting on the counter attack. He crawls through the first couple of tackles and picked up by the Nelspruit forwards. Straight through the middle they go, and here's some momentum. And then the number 6 from Nelspruit, Jan-Roo van den Berg. Jan-Roo van den Berg still on his feet, going to the 22 of Paul Roos. This is a much better start for Nelspruit, an advantage. Great start early in the second half for Nelspruit, getting some momentum. And Jan-Roo van den Berg with a great carry after Christopher started that counter attack for Nelspruit. And what will the decision be by Stefan van der Bank?
He's going for the line, Johan.
Ja, hier word Nelspruit.
Oh dear.
En 'n baie swak fout wat gemaak word deur Stefan van der Bank. Skitterende losskakel van Nelspruit, maar daar het hy sy konsentrasie verloor en skop ongelukkig die bal oor die doodlyn. Dit is iets wat Nelspruit glad nie kan bekostig in hierdie tweede helfte nie. Met 'n agterstand van 21 punte wat hulle moet uitwis, is sulke foute ongelukkig onverskoonbaar. En die plaasvervanger loskakel reeds na 8 minute op die veld verskyn, maar Red Kloete vir Paul Roos wat hierdie 22 afskop gaan waarneem. Weer eens 'n hand bygekry daar en bal word opgedra deur Nelspruit. Skitterend skoon gemaak daar deur Nelspruit en Christovam wat die bal kan uitkry daar na sy nommer 6 flank Jan van der Berg. En Jan van der Berg wat op sy voete bly, maar ongelukkig lyk dit of Paul Roos hierdie bal gaan ophou in die lug. En die skeieregter wat saamstem daarmee. Die bal is ingeneem in die kontaksituasie deur Nelspruit. In die lug gehou deur Paul Roos en toe die bal grond toe gaan, kon hy nie uitkom nie. Vaste skram met Paul Roos sy jaars vir die bal kan insit.
Very clever play there, Johan, by the number 18 player, Tristan Leach. You can't see his number because unfortunately he's been in a couple of mud patches, but more called by the referee and very cleverly lying over the ball there, knowing that it was going to be a dead ball. Advantage Paul Roos.
I've been very impressed by Leach so far in this game. Incredibly strong carrier of the ball and making a real nuisance of himself at the breakdown as well. So maybe some scratching of the heads to do for the selectors as he's playing with a number 18 on his back at this stage.
Possibly, as we see Leach there comes off the field and is replaced. A good effort by him as we see the scrummer from Paul Roos trying to get rid of the ball there. Opportunity here for Nelspruit to attack with a new player on the field. Player number 22, Brandon Potgieter.
Well taken by Jaws and gets it out to Louis, fullback. He's also looked full of running. And he in turn gets it out and there's lots of space on the left hand side for Paul Roos. And going to ground there with Charles quickly with a play and another carry by Maritz. This number 5 lock from Paul Roos all over the field tonight. Also great carry and he's gone straight through with the ankle tap just a couple of and he stretches over. Wonderful individual try and we're looking for a number on the back there. I think it's number 23 Regan van der Westhuizen if I'm not mistaken. But a wonderful individual effort, spotted the space and great footwork down the left hand side. And we were just discussing near the end of the first half that they love taking the ball to the right hand side and now they score on the left with a beautiful individual try and it was that man Regan van der Westhuizen.
As you correctly say, Johan, we've seen them utilize the short side of the field, and again utilizing it straight through the middle was the player there, and a try time for Paul Roos. Dead and buried game for Nelspruit, do you think, Johan?
Manny, unfortunately, I don't think we've seen enough from Nelspruit to make us think that they can come back from this. Some great individual players at this stage, but they're sort of not putting it together. Both their flankers and have becoming more and more into the game, but unfortunately they're just not putting it together at this stage. So I think this might be a bridge too far. As he's looking at the conversion, good strike. Unfortunately misses to the left hand upright, and the score stays after 5 minutes in the second half. Paul Roos from Stellenbosch 32 and the Nelspruit Rhinos 6.
Whilst we're waiting for Nelspruit to fly off and Monk to get us underway, a massive shout out to our sponsors here, headline sponsors of the St. John's Easter Rugby Fest, Standard Bank. Many thanks for their support.
Such an awesome initiative from Standard Bank. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's the 6th year that they are the main sponsor of the St. John's Festival and investing back to the youth. And this is where tomorrow's stars will come from. As we see Nelspruit kicking straight down the throat of Marek Kloete. Kloete with lots of time to weigh up his options, and he sends it deep. It looks like the scrum of Christovan with a good take, and plays it out there. Is that straight down the throat of the Paul Roos player. Great work by Kola Louis, the fullback, and he's been an elusive runner all night long. Sets it up brilliantly. As we see the carry up there by the Paul Roos forwards, and good cleaning over the ball. And the reserve scrum off is also on the field for Paul Roos. Looks like Antoni Kok. And unfortunately there was a knock on there by Paul Roos, and Nelspruit will have the field in the scrum. Antoni Kok has also replaced Jars, the scrummer for Paul Roos, and also thought that Gerardo Jars had a very good game tonight. Summed up the conditions very well. Like we said, knew when to use the short side, which they have done extensively so tonight. And I hope that the guys playing Paul Roos later in the season has had their eyes on that and I think they've caught Nelspruit by surprise quite a few times tonight.
Have indeed caught them by surprise, and now that the rain has subsided, you can hear a couple of murmurs, a couple of voices. Good to see that everybody's come out this Thursday evening to the St. John's Rugby Easter Festival. The rain has gone away, it has cleared, still a little bit windy outside, a little bit cold, but as you can hear for yourselves, the atmosphere is starting to build, obviously building for this game, which is a massive encounter, and one to follow as well. The host St. John's College get a first run out at this festival versus Florida.
Yeah, the anticipation, obviously many building for that one. You can hear the home supporters becoming vocal here next to the commentary box, and you know, what an atmosphere, what an opportunity for the guys from St. John's. You know, I'm sure the guys just after the finish of this festival start licking their lips, the grade 10s and grade 11s for next year's festival, and knowing that they'll receive massive crowd support as we see Nelspruit clearing up to the halfway line. Brilliant kick with a very small angle. And I think what an awesome opportunity for all the sides playing here at the Easter Festival. Like mentioned earlier, saw Michael Wirrock from the Sharks Talent Scout walking about, and I'm sure all the other unions have sent their reps, and also some of the players' agents walking around and looking for young talent. So what an opportunity for the guys.
Fantastic opportunity as we see now. A strong carry by Paul Roos. Good hands there by the forwards linking. First phase ball is going to be quick here by Gerardo. He'll want to get rid of that ball quickly. Slow to come out of that ruck situation. Good hands displayed by Paul Roos.
In die middel van die veld dan Tony Kok wat die bal uitkry. En hy speel wyd na. En dan is hy in die hande van nommer 13. Paul Roos nummer 13 hier so, ons kyk net gou op die lys, die spanlys, waar is die nommer 13 van Paul Roos, en skitterende rugby wat opgedis word hier so deur Paul Roos, en Brendan Venter, die is die nommer 13, of course Brendan, the son of former Springbok Brendan Venter, and Brendan Venter who's just been drafted in as one of the, or as the defense coach of the Springboks, and his namesake and son playing in the number 13 jumper for Paul Roos, Brendan Venter, and obviously the blood throwing thick through those veins of Brendan Venter.
Good appreciation for the rules, must be said. Obviously, he got tackled, he released the ball up on his feet again. Unfortunately, a slight knock-on, which gives us now a defensive scrum on their 5-meter line by Nelspruit.
Looks like Paul Roos might have turned this over. Tony Cook shouting at his forwards, going to go left as the ball is in the hands of Van Dijk. Now strong carry, and it looks like he's over. Is he held up? Try awarded to Philip Van Dijk, and this man's had an industrious game as well, and well-deserved try for Philip Van Dijk, and this is sadly becoming a bit of one-way traffic, Manny, as Paul Roos stretches their lead to 37 points to 6 with a conversion coming. And like I said, well-deserved try for the number 7, Philip Van Dijk.
Crucial errors, Johan, on your own a dead ball line almost. Defensive scrum by Nelspruit. They look to run it tough to set up a face for the fly half to clear, not securing that ball to exit and punished by Paul Roos.
Het lyk na verandering van skoppers hier so as W.J. Smit die regtervleuel van Paul Roos die bal stel, en interessant genoeg 'n hele paar linkervoetskoppers vandag gesien, en W.J. Smit is nog een as ons dink aan die eerste wedstryd van die dag. Tristan Oosthuizen van Help Mekaar die loskakel wat ook 'n hotklou is, en ons kyk wat W.J. Smit hierdie ene maak. Tref hom mooi, en hy's te suiwer tussen die pale deur. Tref die groot skerm maar agter die pale, en Paul Roos die strek die voorsprong na 39 punte teenoor 6. As ons hier neffens die kommentaarboks hoor hoe Nelspruit aangemoedig word, en hulle het 20 minute om die gang van hierdie wedstryd te verander, maar dit mag dalk net 'n brug te ver wees.
Van den Bank will look for another restart. Good high-hanging ball here for them to contest. Great gather by the number 20 from Nelspruit there, Van der Merwe. He'll look to give his team good go-forward ball.
Solid defense in the midfield, but it looks like the referee has spotted a high tackle, and obviously very, very strict on that, as we've seen in the Super Rugby, the Varsity Cup, all the rugby, even international rugby. The referee is incredibly strict, and that's a directive straight from Sanzar to really stamp down on this, and from World Rugby, and the referees have been doing a great job thus far with that. As Van der Bonk pokes that into the corner, and Nelspruit has an attacking line out inside Paul Roos's 22, and they really need to make this one count, as hooker from Nelspruit, Espier Miller, will be able to feed this line out.
Fresh legs coming on now for Nelspruit. 3 people I see coming on the pitch. We'll just get numbers and names confirmed for you just now, but high time for, obviously, penalty given right in front of the post, but with Nelspruit chasing the game from so far, opting to go for the line, hopefully wishing for 7 points.
This is always a very interesting phenomenon for me. The reserve hooker coming on straight to the field for a throw, Jason Cornelius, and unfortunately Paul Roos receives a free kick for blocking, and we've called it, Manny. I really struggle to understand this. We see it in Super Rugby, we see it in international rugby, when I know you can only make replacements when the player's stopped, but surely as a hooker the toughest thing to do is to throw the ball in the line out straight from the bench.
Particularly in an attacking position such as that one, Johan. You're on the 5-meter line, you've got a penalty, you've got your first opportunity in the second half to get some points on the board, and you bring on a brand new hooker.
Let's see what Cornelius does this time. Jason Cornelius, the number 16 reserve hooker for Nelspruit. It's his second throw in. Just got penalised at his first. That's better, and Nelspruit secures possession from the line out.
Van der Merwe gets rid of the ball now, goes to the Van den Bank in the middle. Centre's now getting involved in the game. Bit of scrappiness there. The player happened to run past the ball there. Let's see if they secure the ball, Johan.
Well, it's really scrappy in the middle of the field. It's a very muddy pitch, but Nelspruit looks to have secured possession as they drive forward, and Paul Roos tumbling into that over the ball, it looks like, and then the referee says play on, and it's the number 20 for Nelspruit, Heiko van der Merwe, who's really made an impact since he's come on. And then the scrum of van der Merwe, I wonder whether they're related, but Nelspruit, who at least has some possession now, the Paul Roos player needs to roll away there as Nelspruit carries on. Oh, and a thumping hit, a thumping double hit there by 100 Jacobs, and I could not see the other player, but beautiful work as van der Merwe goes blind to Trotsky. Trotsky has been the best carrier for Nelspruit by a country mile, and that looks to be high once more, and a little bit of ill discipline slipping into the game at this stage.
Slow ball coming out there for Nelspruit, not really able to utilize the ball quickly there. Oof.
I think the referee missed a high tackle in there. I thought he had his arm out for penalty advantage for the high tackle.
I thought so too. He did have his hand out. Maybe not so good communication between him and his assistants there. Certainly a hand out there to play for the high tackle advantage. He did signal it, Johan, but obviously slipping his mind, and he's coming back for the knock on there.
And that's another very interesting fact. If we think back in the last couple of weeks of Super Rugby, lots of unhappy players and unhappy fans about the rule. The rule is fine, but then we need to be consequent on it, and we need to really stamp that out, because if people keep getting away with tackles like that, then the tackles are bound to keep happening. And unfortunately, sometimes a referee does miss a thing, and they're only human. But that's where we need our assistant referees to really step up to the mark and make sure that we get it out of the game.
Certainly it needs to be stamped out. Like you correctly said a little bit earlier, Sanzar has made it a critical point that anything over the shoulders there will be deemed a penalty. They want to protect the players in situations like that.
And another free kick goes to Paul Roos, this time for an early shove. And it's quickly taken by Antoni Kop and carried up in the midfield, but it looks like it's been lost forward. Lost forward by Paul Roos. And I'm sure the referee will take us out of that patch on the middle in the field. We're on the pitch, and it's really muddy over there. And we very happy that the guys have got a day off tomorrow, not only just for them, but also for the field to recover, Manny. It's taken a lot of water today, and it's actually in surprisingly good nick, but I think the field will really enjoy some recovery time.
I think the field, out of all people, will take the most out of a day's break. As we can see, a massive shove there by Paul Roos, really getting over the advantage line. Quick ball now for the Paul Roos men.
And there was a great run by 8th man Matthew Cordy from the base of the scrum after the tight end, and beautiful rugby now by Paul Roos, and lots of space on the left hand side. And good cover tackle there coming in from that man Trotsky again. Trotsky is really working his boots off for this Nelspruit side, and looks like another player to watch with Van der Bank. And as we see that self-same Van der Bank with another huge punt out of his own dead ball area. Look at that. Wonderful, wonderful kick by Stefan Van der Bank as Paul Roos looks to take it quickly. But I think the referee spotted somebody outside the field that already touched that ball. And Paul Roos looking to get away with it. But that's quite a hefty boot for a schoolboy, Manny.
What a boot, certainly, and credit to the likes of Strotsky, who despite the scoreline, despite his team's efforts, has always stood up and has always carried the ball forward. Really, really standout player between the forwards there, between him and Van den Bank. Fantastic display of schoolboy rugby at a top class.
Let's not forget the guys from Paul Roos, and as we see the reserve Cornelis taking it in for Nelspruit. And we see Koning has rejoined on the field, the player that got the yellow card. A beautiful carry up there by Nelspruit, right up the gut of the Paul Roos defense. As we see it coming out to Van der Bank. Great distributions to Tian du Plessis.
Backwards is a call by the referee there. It let be a knock on. Gerardo getting the ball there.
Lots of space down the right-hand side. And the ball will trundle into touch. And I think there's no one happier than Andre van der Merwe, the number 21 for Nelspruit, who was covering there. And anyone has to remember on this heavy field, 70 minutes is a lot of rugby. And at this stage, this is the stage of the game where cramps are setting in. And on the side of Paul Roos, special mention has to go to their number 5 lock, Brayton Maritz, who's carried Manfly the whole day. Philip van Dijk and Michael Koning, the two flanks, has been playing very well. And every time round, Regan van der Westhuizen in the centres have touched the ball. He's looked really dangerous. And Brendan Venter has also had a very solid outing. On the side of Paul Roos, not many guys not playing solid rugby, but it's sometimes in a side like Nelspruit who's struggling, it's easier to pick up their stars. And Jakub Trotsky, the number 7, has looked like an incredible player, an incredible talent for the future.
Like you correctly say, Johan, I think on behalf of Paul Roos, a fantastic team effort. You really can't leave anybody out. It's been a fantastic display. All the players have really done their jobs quite well and come to their team's aid.
Beautiful run down the left. Is he over?
No, I think he's out on the touch side there, Johan. Touch line beating him before he can get to the try line. But fantastic distribution of the ball. Quick hands by the Paul Roos back line into the corner. There was the attempt by Paul Roos.
Yeah, it was Remy Engelbrecht, the left wing from Paul Roos, showing a clean pair of heels there, but just tackled out 5 yards from the goal line. And all smiles when he got up, and who will not be smiling when you're leading 39 points to 6.
Defensive line out now for Nelspruit. They'll want to get the ball go forward. They want to solidify there so they can clear their lines. Vice captain Van den Bank, I'm sure, waiting there to receive the ball. Penalty blown by the referee, judged for hands on the ruck there. A bit of a breather by Nelspruit. They will look to clear their lines out under pressure.
And once again, there was a huge collision there in midfield with Trotsky carrying it up, and it looks like Koning who stayed down. A huge collision between the two guys, and Trotsky does look a little bit groggy. I hope the medical staff gives attention to him very, very soon. In fact, he's just leaving the field, and Trotsky has had a brilliant game, as we see here in the foreground. Brendan Venter with his back to the camera at number 13, and it looks like Regan van der Westhuizen next to him, and great outing for van der Westhuizen as well. As we enter the last 9 minutes of this game, and a big clearance by Van der Bank. Oh, and Venter makes a mistake. Unfortunately, bad mistake there by Venter, and the knock on right in front of us here on the 10-meter line of Paul Roos.
Not used to playing under lights, perhaps, Johan? Maybe lights caught his eyes there?
Yeah, the lights are reasonably low, even though they are up in the top echelons there of the school, and on the side of that we're sitting, they are rather low. They're fantastic lights, but a kick can definitely, or the lights can definitely bother the players when looking straight into the lights. When we play at the big stadiums and these guys in a couple of years, then the lights are a lot higher, so you don't often lose the ball in the lights. As Van der Merwe waits. And he gets it out. Beautiful straight running and a great defense by Paul Roos as well. Nelspruit looking to clean over the ball, and it comes out. Very, very scrappy ball for Nelspruit, very well controlled there. And the referee saying no problems, carry on. So it's turnover ball for Paul Roos. That's Cock. Beautiful pickup. And it's out to Louis, the fullback Louis. He's been having a good afternoon as well. Great support play by Paul Roos, hooker. But then another turnover and another turnover. Anthony Cock coming away with it. The reserve scrum off for Paul Roos. Beautiful rugby by Paul Roos.
Fantastic hands on display here. Massive course for the ball to come to the right hand side. They do have numbers. Quick ball here. Gerardo will be of service here. Get it through the hands there. Try time is waiting for Paul Roos as it goes to the centre there, and he makes up for his mistake there. The centre comes in for a try.
Brendan Fenter going over for Paul Roos. Beautiful, beautiful hands in these conditions, and they're starting to really turn it on now. Chucking the ball around, and beautiful try, and Brendan Fenter to finish it off in the corner. And Paul Roos stretches their lead to 44-6 over Nelspruit. And Manny, I must admit, this is quite a surprise with the comfort that Paul Roos is doing this. And but they are putting in a really, really polished performance in this weather. And will be a happy coaching staff as the end of the game.
As we see now again the replay there, quick hands there. They always knew that numbers on the side, and Brendan Fenter getting the easiest job in the world. Catch the ball, put it over the line. Try time, Paul Roos.
He won't score many easier tries in his career, and but at the end of the day, you still have to catch it and you still have to score it. We've seen Robbie Fleck and just in the recent past, Enku Fenter, the Cheetahs, make an awful hash of just going to score. And as Louis misses to the right hand upright, and we've got about 5 or 6 minutes to play, and this is the stage where one just hopes for Nelspruit's sake that they can score a consolation try.
Certainly so.
If I could have picked a player to score it, I would have picked Trotsky, who's unfortunately left the field. But let's hope that Nelspruit can get in, as we see Van der Bank ready to restart. And he goes deep into the right-hand corner. Unfortunately, overcooks it, and another bad mistake for Nelspruit. The errors are just compounding at this stage for Nelspruit, and we've got 5 minutes to go, and Paul Roos, I'm sure, is eyeing up the 50 at this stage.
As we line up for the scrum just over the halfway line for the men from Nelspruit. We certainly hope that Lock Marius Slubbert will be okay. Carried off the field there by the medical staff, not looking in a very, very good condition as I look across the field and halfway line, but is being attended to by the medical staff. We do hope that nothing serious has occurred.
Yeah, he's in the best hands that he can be now, and we just hope for a speedy recovery as Anthony Cook. Once again, they go on the blind. And beautiful run as we get the offload to Fenter again. Oh, Fenter gets tackled into touch. On a dry day, he might have stayed infield there, but with a 3 or 4 yards extra slide, Fenter over the touchline on the 22 of Nelspruit. And Nelspruit will have little option but to run this, as we see the hooker from Nelspruit, SPM Miller, is back on the field. Beautiful take there. Van der Merwe under pressure. Does quite well, but then just gets bundled into touch.
Almost taking out the assistant touch judge there, Johan.
Yeah, Reiner Niemand just absolutely bundling Van der Merwe into touch there. And we see all the guys from Paul Roos also getting a chance to just stretch their leg in this opener. There'll be tougher games for them on Saturday. Paul Roos play Holt McCart, if I'm not mistaken, which will be one of the highlights. And they will be back to fight on Saturday in probably a much closer encounter. Great take in the middle of the line out by Paul Roos, and they get them all going. in possession at the back of the mall is JJ Kotza. And they've still got the ball going. Beautiful move from the 22. JJ Kotza still in possession of the ball. Then gets tackled and now the Paul Roos will need a quick ball as it's Antoni Kok waiting for it. He gets it out to Marek Kluter. He throws it to Brendan Venter. Brendan Venter once again, great appreciation of the law. He's back onto his feet, driving towards the line, but now he gets held up just a couple of meters short. Antoni Kok digging for it. And it's to that man Leach again. Leach stretching, but he's just short of the post. Antoni Kok once again. Oh, and then the pass goes behind the back. I think that's gone forward, unfortunately.
Certainly
JJ
has
Kotza
gone
thought
forward
he was in there, but unfortunately that pass went forward from Paul Roos. Paul Roos really playing beautiful, attractive rugby in these sort of conditions, Manny.
Would it be nice to Johan to see that man Tristan Leach get over the line? He's really been a Trojan for Paul Roos, really doing all the hard yards and dirty work, getting stuck in, getting that go forward ball. He's really had a very good game, Johan.
Number 18, Tristan Leach, backing down on the tight head, and he's been all over the park. And it's incredible to see a tight head prop getting all over the park like he has. And I've been really, really impressed with Leach, and he looks to have a stellar season ahead of him.
Massive scrum now by Paul Roos as Nelspruit look to clear their lines, but referee judges the loose head there coming in and around, which gives some much needed relief to Nelspruit to save their blushes.
And here comes the man with a turbo in his boot, Stefan van der Bank, and gets it out on the halfway line, and a beautiful, beautiful clearance. And the youngster really has a special boot on him. The fly-offs that I've seen today, Stefan van der Bank has really impressed me. Tristan Oosthuizen in the first game this morning for Alkmaar looks to be quite a polished player as well. And Paul Boisai just coming back from New Zealand as well, playing here today against Aya the Tiger Invitational side, also impressed on day one, beating them by 57 points to 0. As we see Nelspruit still fighting manfully, as Esper Miller the hooker supports, and Van der Merwe awaits, and carried up by number 20 Anko Van der Merwe, and crunching tackle as Paul Roos gets in over the ball, wins a penalty, and that's that, I'm afraid, for Nelspruit, as Paul Roos takes it quickly through Brendan Venter. He gets it out to Marek Kluter. He plays it short. Beautiful handling by Paul Roos as Antoni Kok gets in, and a little grabber through. Beautiful work. Great coverage though by Nelspruit, and as they get bundled over the dead ball line. And that's it. End of the game. Paul Roos 44, Nelspruit 6. Comprehensive victory by Paul Roos here in the penultimate game. Manny, from your side, from our side, thank you very much for spending the time with me, and hope to see you soon again.
Thanks very much, Johan. Fantastic from your side as well. Fantastic display of rugby by Paul Roos as it ends here at St. John's College in the penultimate game. 44 points for Paul Roos, 6 for Nelspruit. From me, Lucky Letsawa, and my co-commentator, Johan Smith, it's good night.